We're going to be starting out in the round of 16, going through various different years. And the first one that we're doing is 2022 against 2014. Two World Cups where one generational superstar was in, and that is Lionel Messi. So this is who Sofascore have for the 2022 Qatar World Cup and also Brazil 2014. You'll see one common theme on both, and that is Lionel Messi. So guys, what jumps out at you straight away just looking at both these 11s?
Harry Maguire made it.
Wow.
Okay, that's interesting. Again, with the numbers, it's always difficult, right? Because I'm looking at this team on the left-hand side, and again, that's a 4-2-2. So it's obviously like, okay, they must have had some good attacking players. That's why Bruno Fernandes in there, Griezmann's in there. But it didn't give you the feeling that that was the best team. And I know we got the numbers, and they'll tell me it's wrong, but the goalkeeper of Croatia is the best goalkeeper. Emi Martinez weren't too bad.
What about James? Definitely was the standout, right? James was the goal. Yeah. That's the goal I remember. That's the player I remember really breaking out, right, and becoming kind of like this world-class player. The move to Real Madrid after. So James Rodriguez, I have no doubts about.
Yes.
And look at some of these teams: Juranovic and Livakovic. Do we remember Croatia's backline being that much of a standout, or was it more the midfield? I remember more the midfield, right, in 2022.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because there's no bias tied to it, right?
Yeah.
It's just looking at the numbers. In those moments, what were their performances? And also, if you have a drop-off in a certain game, then that would lower your overall score, your overall number. So for me, when I see even Mbappe over there in the 2022 World Cup, he was phenomenal because he came up clutch in the important moments. To find out when your team is down and you're scoring the goals, that should boost your rating up. Or at least for me, if we're choosing between, I would go with, Mbappe in that situation.
So let's take a look at Messi versus Messi. This is 8 years apart. Obviously, in 2022, Messi did the only thing that he was missing, which is actually winning the World Cup. But you can make a case that 2014 Messi, that was prime Messi, that was prime Barcelona under Pep Guardiola. So which Messi version do you like best? Twilight Messi or in prime Messi?
For me, it's 2014, right?
Oh,
yeah, definitely. Then in this World Cup, but he won the World Cup, so of course that should boost your rating, right? But the longevity of his career is just incredible that we're talking about someone in 2014, the only one who made both of these teams, and he still put in these performances. Argentina, what was special about them in the 2022 World Cup is he finally had the team around him. Yeah. He had a group of men that just all fought for one thing, and that was to put Messi in the position to win.
Absolutely.
Came up with those clutch goals, but also in 2014, he was phenomenal.
I actually would have went the other way. Okay. I would have went 22 for that reason. Everyone was played to him. He had the weight, even more weight than 2014, because this team felt like it was a great team that everyone was rooting for. But also he had players that were willing to sacrifice, do all the work. You now have to deliver. And he ultimately did. So I actually would say 2022 for me personally, but I understand.
He was more the focal point in this.
Yeah.
So the Oracle says that perhaps the best World Cup version of Messi and Mbappe against prime James and peaking Neymar, there's more attacking talent than you could dream of on the pitch, but it's the base of the midfield that makes the difference. Toni Kroos, as the metronome, gives 2014 the control and the solidity it needs. So even a really nice, well-written description of what the Oracle has seen. Any thoughts on this? Do we agree? 2014?
That is the key part in any team for me, both with the ball and without the ball, is can your six dictate the play? And Toni Kroos was the best of a generation, so it's very difficult to argue with that.
All right, let's move on to another heated round of 16, a tie between 2002, where Italy should have won and we were robbed by the referee, Marco, and 2006, where Italy did win. So I'm very curious to see what Sofascore and their geniuses have decided. It should be an all-Italian 11 for 2006, sure.
You'd imagine.
I mean, come on.
Okay, 2002, phenomenal.
Wow.
Oh, phenomenal. They are, Troy, Brazil, how good were they in 2002, mate?
The king. Don't even call him R9. The king. The greatest striker to ever play, in my opinion. Interesting team, I must admit, but look, this guy, honestly, just... The reason I fell in love with football was because of this guy, and he is amazing. I actually have that signed shirt at home, match worn as well. So
they didn't put Byron Moreno, the referee, not in the 11.
Calm down. But this team also never lost a game from start to finish. He gets 8 goals, 4 in the knockout stages. Just look at the conversion rate. We talk about numbers. more or less 50% of his shots went in. Frighteningly good, just the best I've ever seen, and you know, just a shame he had those injuries, because if he never had those injuries, I think we'll be talking about him as an all-time great with stats to back it up as well.
Troy, really quick, you weren't having the two Brazilians, only two Brazilians, and
Only
Ronaldo and Rivaldo?
I mean, come on,
check out.
Again, I understand, right? The keeper must have made a load of saves for is that Tunisia? Turkey, right? Turkey, loads of saves for them, right? Great, he gets into it. But if we don't lose a game all the way through the competition, surely my goalkeeper played well.
I guess the argument is he didn't concede a lot of shots, right? So
Okay.
like the numbers would give him more.
Okay, so that must suggest that we've done well attacking-wise. So how about Roberto Carlos and Cafu going in there then?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Sofascore, come on.
Sofascore. We got to talk.
Talk to you, boy.
2006. Italy obviously won this competition. The only goal they conceded up until the final was a Cristian Zaccardo own goal. Thank you very much, Zaccardo, for that.
So that would suggest then, sorry to interrupt,
It's okay.
that the Italians were lucky because you got three defensive players in and no attacking players.
No, Buffon was incredible.
But no Ballon d'Or.
Buffon, the saves in the final,
Yeah, that's what I'm
those
saying.
are clutch.
So it must be lucky because he had a lot of work.
I know what you
to do.
mean. I'm not arguing against it. I'm just giving you, I think, the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
The interesting thing to
Where's
me,
the Ballon d'Or winner?
Fabio Cannavaro, winner of the Ballon d'Or. There was, between him and Buffon, everyone argued who it could be. But he's not in the team. For me, I remember just being such a young kid during this and being mesmerized by the defending. He made defending an art for me.
Yes.
So I would put him even over Lucio or Materazzi probably. But Materazzi was the king of coming up in the big moments.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone wants to remember the Zidane, the headbutt, but it's the goals that he scored in this tournament where he was not supposed to be a starter. If Nesta did not get injured, we would not have seen Materazzi be so crucial in this World Cup.
All right, so I think they also weigh him getting headbutted by Zidane, getting him sent off. That has a big weight,
No way.
according to Sofascore. It has to.
You're
I mean,
kidding.
that was one of the great moments of the World Cup in terms of what it did for Italy. And
I want to know how they scored that.
I think they have their own metric for that. Boom. Yeah. So these are the squads.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Oracle has predicted. The Oracle has seen that R9 leads the line at the tournament, where he was the decisive player, but in Materazzi and Buffon, he faces the spine of Italy's title-winning defense that allowed just 2 goals, 1 and own goal. As well, Ronaldo and Klose combined for 13 goals and 0-2. Their combination makes that an unstoppable attacking force that would have gone past that wonderful spine of 2006. So they have 2002, and it's hard to disagree when you see, I mean, Ronaldo, to me, my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
So they have gone through. Where are they? Boom. 2014 will face.
Interestingly enough, by the way,
2002.
Matteo, Italy won 2006 World Cup. If you ask any of the winners on that team, they all say the 2002 team was better.
2018 and 1994. So 1994, Marco, this is slightly before you. So I'm going to go to Troy.
Wait.
We're the
95, I was born.
You've got a
youngster.
tough paper out.
We got
Anyway.
two 1980s boys can break this down. So Troy, what stands out here?
Obviously, this is the US one. This is the first World Cup I ever watched. I was 6 years old at this point. Again, memories for me obviously comes a little bit more when I remember Hadji.
Yeah.
My dad really loved Hadji as a player. Don't ask me why. But anyway, Hadji. Again, the Italians were in there as well. But it was one of those ones as well. With the heat, it just threw everybody around. And I remember Coleman being so good at centre-back, just playing and just hitting these balls. So, very strong team. Dunga, again, don't really remember too much of him, but I know historically he's a legend of a player. So, 94 for me is a little bit too close in the early memories of football.
No Baggio?
No, but I wonder why.
What, just for the miss?
Just for the decisive miss. Yeah, that makes sense. This is 2018, so this is only, I can't believe this was 8 years ago now.
Two Swedish strikers.
Eden Hazard for Belgium getting the highest score in this 11. Marco, take us through it.
Yeah, for me, 2018, what stands out, Luka Modrić was incredible in this World Cup. I think that is where, I mean, everyone was in love with Luka Modrić, but you ask people about him, and they all will reference this World Cup just so common.
When they knocked out England, right? 2018.
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. He was unreal in that game.
He was incredible. Yeah, absolutely. So he's the immediate standout in the 2018 World Cup, thinking about what they were able to do. Antoine Griezmann, of course, just the talent that he had. He was so creative in the final third, obviously leading them to as well to go on and win it.
Troy, give us some insider info of playing with or playing against those English players. You saw John Stones at the back, Kieran Trippier out
John
wide.
Stones, Trips is obviously just moved to Wolverhampton, obviously Harry Kane as well. I think, for me, John Stones Stones is one of our generational talents, and he won't be appreciated because the amount of injuries he had towards the end of his career. But you're talking about someone who's 6'2", 6'3", quick, can play through the lines, was probably our first real ball-playing centre-back that could still defend. You know, people go, oh, Rio Ferdinand, those guys. But Rio had a few flaws in his game where John Stones, to me, was the most complete. Yep. When you go into a Pep Guardiola team, and you know what Pep likes to do, he likes to spend a lot of money to make changes, but you stay for nearly a decade, you're a top player. So for me, it was good that he's in there, but my other bit I was going to say was Hazard and Coutinho. How great would it be to have those two guys playing now, and players of that ilk that would just free-flowing.
Yep.
Remember when we played against Eden Hazard when he was at Chelsea? It just skipped past you, and you were like, how's he done that? He's so quick, so nimble, unbelievable player. But we'll talk about Luka.
And Marco, we just watched Luka Modrić in his 40s be one of the most important players in Serie A and one of the most important players for Milan. This is Modrić at his absolute peak, where he was at Real Madrid, multiple Champions Leagues.
Similar to what I said about Messi, it's the longevity that just impresses me with Luka Modrić, right? He is the most hungry, humble champion you will ever see. Just being able to cover him all year long, you really witness it. Even in Milan's last game of the season to try to qualify for Champions League football, he fractured his cheek. Yeah. He made a mask. He was begging Allegri to play in this. So the fact that he still has this hunger to continue playing at a top level, he didn't do, and I don't judge different players if you want to go to Saudi Arabia, you want to go take the money. He did not do that. He chose, once again, this World Cup to play at the highest level possible so that he could represent his country in the best way.
I think one of the key points as well is this: minutes played. So you're talking about a player who is obviously key and integral to them, plays all the time, but keeps the ball. He's not just one of those players who is a left back and we always attack down the right-hand side. He's the engine. Yeah. Everything good goes through him, and he still played the most.
Never really got seriously injured.
No.
Played over 50 games in all comps for Real Madrid. I mean, the mileage that he's put on his body and the professionalism that he still has.
Yes.
Second to none. Okay, Oracle, speak to us. Dunga keyed Brazil's title run in '94 along with Romario, but 2018 has the goals with Harry Kane, the creativity.
How was no Romario in there?
Through Eden Hazard, and the flair through Neymar. Ahead of Modrić to set the tempo in the midfield. No Stoichkov, Selenko, Baggio, or Romario in '94 team. Sofascore, we got to have a word. Means that 2018 has the firepower to advance. So 2018 is through. They've won their first knockout, just like Canada hopefully will. 1982 against
you weren't alive.
1974.
Nah. 74 was like 14 years before.
82?
Marco, you weren't even a thought for at least 20 years in 1982. So I'm going to go to Troy first. Let's see some of the names, because these are names
talking about names, aren't we? Maradona, Zico, Platini, to talk about icons of the sport.
We know him. We know him. I mean, these are some of the names that if you're a football fan, you hear your parents talking. There's just so many boring stories about players you never watched, but they constantly tell you how much better it was in their day. I think it's all nostalgia. But these are the two teams. So, Troy, what stands out of
Beckenbauer, arguably the best centre-back ever. Again, I know there's a few Italians you can throw in the mix as well, but arguably, if you talk to historians, they'd say arguably the best centre-back ever. Johan Cruyff, not only as a player, but what he's done managerial and coaching-wise, history. I think, again, you're talking about legends. We wasn't around to watch these. If I had to guess, I would say the 82 team has more talent in midfield than in forward areas. But
very importantly, I think they have the lead on mustaches. Shivatse, I see you. Yeah. Handlebar, whatever that's going on with Breitner, I'm loving it. Hairstyles too. There's some great aesthetics.
Guys, this has Maradona and Platini. How is 82
and Zico? And Zico as well.
Also, Italy won the 1982 World Cup, but there's no Italians on that team.
Okay, let's see if Oracle is.
It's not about you guys.
Has Oracle taken into account the facial hair? We will see. Falcao and Zico were the stars of the best teams to now win the title in '82, but Lato led Poland's third-place charge in '74 with 7 goals, and his pairing with Johan Cruyff and Edstrom could be lethal. But that 1982 midfield of Platini, Maradona, and the Brazilians would run almost anyone off the pitch. I'm loving these descriptions from the Oracle. I think it's just our producer, but the Oracle has once again
at work.
Made the Oracle, a.k.a. Claude Pro, has done a great job. No, I'm joking. Sofascore, we love you. So this is fun, guys. What are we thinking about this? This is. I
love that 66 just went through.
Yeah, they just got to buy.
It's not best team to ever win it. You just
We got to have England involved somehow. You don't win it.
So
before or since.
Producer saying we're going to do a deep dive tomorrow on 1966. Also, very different methods of training. Those guys could not keep up with the modern teams. Like, let's be honest, right?
Well, you don't think the drinking and the work at other jobs and real life jobs would keep up with today's football?
You have to judge.
Smoking cigarettes not helping.
You have to judge within the error. That's what I always say with football.
Yeah, of course.
They had to, crawl so the rest could run.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.